what is up? Welcome back, Design Squad, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to do a calendar picker using repeaters. And it's by the popular requests. I have so many requests about calendar ranges and things of that nature. But I guess this is gonna kickstart it, because for advanced stuff you definitely need to use repeaters. It just makes everything so much easier, especially when you craft something so complex as a calendar picker. I have another video using just dynamic panels. You can find it, I think it's video around 70, maybe 50, but check the playlist, there's definitely a calendar picker one. Let's jump and make a repeater functionality happen as a starter. And as you can see, I have a few bits already defined, so I came up prepared. And so should you. And so what you need to prepare is, what I have is date value. And as you can see, I named it ++ date value. You can name it as you wish, but it's a text field which I'm gonna add our selection to value. And I have a read-only value of September 2020. You can make it whatever you wish. I just picked a random month, and you can also make it dynamic if you wish, because Axure has a lookup for an actual date selector. I'm gonna leave you as a challenge to figure that out. And lastly, I have this dynamic panel where I have 3 states in it, and it's basically for each of the dates we're gonna have this specific value. It has a default value, active value, meaning it's selected, and in between. In between value is a little bit of overreaching, because I'm gonna cover that in the next video, or maybe video after. It's about the ranging, and it's much more complex, so I'm not gonna cover it yet, but I'm just gonna leave that as a teaser. Okay, and meanwhile, what we're gonna do next is just really add a repeater, you know, that old repeater. If you don't know how to use repeaters, you definitely have to watch my other videos of, you know, the introductions of repeater, how to add data to it, how to publish data. And so what we're gonna do next is really just go to Style tab, and here we're gonna have a column, and I'm just gonna maybe name it something like date, and I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, and just add 30 items. Boom. Just gonna copy my dynamic panel into one of them, which is that default, like so. Just position it so it aligns with the frame of the repeater. Close it, and as you can see, all of it is now defined like so, apart from the actual text value. So what I'm gonna do next is really just adjust it a little bit. As you can see, we have a spacing, we have rows. I think we can make it a little bit spaced, so let's say maybe 2 pixels in between the dates. We can wrap the grid as well, exactly what I'm after, like so. And as you can see, we made a basic calendar layout. Now what I'm gonna do is just display these dates in it. Just gonna say set text, and then we're gonna select our field, which is, let's say, the default one, and we're gonna say text, open the functions panel, and here is where we're gonna insert a repeater value. So we're gonna go and find our item date. That's all it takes. Click OK, and boom, we pre-populate everything with that value. But we're not done yet. We also need to set text for the other one, which is basically another target, which is active state. And you can also, if you created 3 states already, you can also select it to the third one, but we're not gonna use it yet, which is that one. So you're gonna see it's the same. If you wanna change it, you can just rename these blocks, which is basically default value, let's say, active value, and let's say in between value. And boom, I have my repeater. And now if I go and open this prototype, you're gonna see that everything works. But if I select something, nothing is gonna work yet. Here's the deal, because we haven't really said anything that, hey, you need to change. So I'm gonna go inside it. I'm gonna say new interaction on click or tap, set panel state, this panel into active. Boom. And now whatever I select, it's gonna select it into active. So let me just show you what I mean by that. If I, let's see, select that, now it's active, active, active. Everything can be active, basically. We can prevent that. We can prevent the duplicates. I'm gonna show you exactly how it's done. And that's basically where we're gonna need variables. If you open your project and global variables in the top toolbar, I cannot show it because of the limits of this recording, but you're gonna see this panel, which is called global variables. I love it. This panel is exactly why Axure is such an amazing tool, but all we're gonna have to do here is say date set. and I'm gonna give it a value false, meaning this is gonna be our container which holds if we selected date or haven't selected date. If you're new to global variables or variables in general, there is a video in a playlist, again, refer to that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to it and I'm gonna say, hey, once you set it to active, I also set our variable value, which is actually an item just outside of recording. I can see that, but check other actions and set variable value. There is a selection, and you're just gonna need to select our newly created variable, and value, you can just say true, meaning we selected it, now it's selected. And now what's next to do is enable cases, and we're just gonna tell it to, hey, if our value of variable data set equals false, do this and then set it to true. And we're gonna create like a closed loop, so meaning once it's set to true, we are not gonna be able to click anything else. So let me show you exactly what it is. So let's say if I select 10, it's selected, but now if I select anything else, nothing happens. So you can create this kind of shut off if it's really up to you, or you can also basically clear it. So it's really up to you, like say what sort of behavior you want to do. So I'm just going to delete that. As you can see, we can leave that false statement, but we need to add another action and go to repeater actions, and there is update rows. Remember this functionality, it's very key. And if we select it, you're going to see this rule radio button, if you remember from my previous video. And this is where we're going to say if this item dot state, because we just need to detect if they're active already, equals, let's say, I think active, because you know our state here is called active, so just make sure it's written like that. A couple of brackets, ensure that you're writing it like this. So pause this video if you're not sure exactly what to write. It's exactly this. And then we're just gonna select the column, which is basically our date value, to default. Simple like that. So we're setting that date value. However, nothing is gonna happen because we're basically setting it to active and then we're setting it to default. So what we need to do is just push it up, and every time we basically select a new date, this is just gonna set it to a default and then set it to active. So let's preview that. If I launch it and I select to 3, and when I select 11 or I select 17, as you can see, I can just select one day at a time. Simple as that. You know, we have this text element, but we haven't done anything with it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use another variable, and I'm gonna use it just because I want to use it in the next video, let's say, when we're gonna deep dive into it. Because I could just say, hey, if I select 10, just make this 10, let's say. But no, I want to set first the variable. This is really good practice to always use variables to contain those values until you override it. And so I'm gonna just say, hey, this is date value. And by default, it's gonna be nothing. Let's say it's empty. And next, what I'm gonna do is just go inside this and add a new action. Set variable value. Again, it's gonna be off the screen, but scroll down until you find set variable value. Select date value, set the value to that variable. It can be just free text. You can add a real value. It's really up to you. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to functions just to make it much more actual. I'm gonna insert variable or function and just find this item date. And this is gonna be your number. This is gonna be 1. But what you can do now is add text around it. So I'm gonna do plus and add text in these brackets. And remember to add brackets and refer to these instructionals so you know exactly what you're adding. But I'm gonna do, let's say, /9, which is September 2020, and this is, I think, European standard. I don't think, let's say, US does it. But you can see it's gonna add this number next to 09, yada, yada, yada. Or you can just do like, let's say this, like so. And then I add another action just to override the text, so set text. Let's find our ++ date value and set text to value of variable and date value, and simple as that. Now if we preview and if we click on free, boom, as you can see, the value here updates immediately. So we created our date picker very easily. Simple as that. It all relates and we can do that. Now the last bit is what I was just talking about. What formatting can you add? You can edit it here, you can go back to functions, but to edit it meaningfully, for example, do something like, because this is just a number, you can also say, let's say, first of September 2020, like this. And in that case, your selection is gonna look like this, but as you can see, it's too short of a text field. Let me just rejig it. So I'm just gonna increase it and preview again and add 4th of September, 12th, 16th, it's up to you. So this is the basic date picker in Repeater. And as you can see, it's much easier than doing it dynamic panel by dynamic panel, by no means. So if you want to learn repeaters, go back if this is something new. But I think it's also straightforward. Just be sure to pause where you need to, check that everything is done as I'm describing you to do. You can also experiment. That's also the key to learn new things. But besides that, add other functionality, try to go forward, try to break the boundaries, try to make something of your own, challenge yourself. As per usual, if you like this video, like, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, share with your friends, maybe your design team would benefit from this. And so on that note, I'll see you next time.